at which the paper burns and catches fire. So, yeah, so, right, I think just reading just the first paragraph, I was so intrigued that, yeah, books are outlawed. And yeah, the society burning anything which is related to books, and should be interesting. Although I also liked 16, which is a short story of nearly everything.
Yeah, so that's what I was searching, and it says a short history of nearly everything is actually Bill Bryson's quest to find out everything that has happened from the Big Bang to the rise of civilization. So how we got from there to actually nothing, and then to here being to what we are today. And he challenges, it's his challenge to take subjects that normally bore the pants of most of us, like geology, chemistry, particle physics, and see if there isn't some way to render them comprehensible to people who have never thought they could be interested in science. Yeah. It's not so much about what we know as about how we know what we know. So it's essentially, frankly, the way you, for example, narrated a certain expedition also, I mean, for someone who has not read too many travel blogs, let's say, you only read it through a blog or whatever, I'm intrigued to read a book about Shackleton and maybe know more about him, just through the perspective of someone who kind of aspires to be like him. So similarly, I think it's a take on science from, even for those who are not too much into science, really, understanding it that way. So it sounds very interesting. I'm going to pick up this book. Yeah?
Yeah, I was about to talk about Steve Jobs.
Okay.
The catcher in the rye, and then again I said that
Alright.
the mother I never knew, both of them. So
I've already read Charlotte's Web, so it's basically, I read it, it was one of the first book I ever read. So I was like about 8 or 7 or whatever. It's basically about a pig who was born, who was actually an extra pig, you can say. And then this child whose house the pig was born in adopted the pig and was feeding it milk with a doodle bottle and all of that. And then after that he moves to a farm because they can't take care of the pig anymore because it has grown too old. And then apparently that pig can talk with the other animals, and the movie is also pretty interesting actually. And then there's a spider who helps the pig not to get killed because it's about to get cut in the winter, but it does not get cut because the spider spins a web and writes adjectives about the pig on its web. So basically the spider is intelligent. And then the pig also goes to a fair, and then they still
tell the story.
So it's basically the spider helping the kid not to get cut.
Yeah, so Charlotte is who?
The spider. And the pig is Wilbur. So.
I would just like to add something, not related to anything in the list, but you talked about Orwell and you talked about Fahrenheit about the books being banned. Now, banning books is one of the first things that totalitarian regimes do when they feel that their authority is being challenged. This has happened in China, in Russia, and even in Nazi Germany.
Communist places.
Not communist.
No.
Germany was not communist. It was
Germany,
extremely
but
right-wing.
like China.
Yes. So there's a nice anecdote. We have all heard of Dr. Zhivago, Boris Pasternak. It was a movie was made on that with Omar Sharif as the lead protagonist.
Okay.
Magnum opus by David Lean. He was the same one who directed Lawrence of Arabia. So Pasternak was awarded the Nobel Prize, but sometime in 1950s, at the height of Cold War, the Russian government saw it as an insult. The Russian government had actually banned that book. So none of the books were in print in Russia. So, and he was awarded the Nobel Prize. I mean, basically his name was shortlisted. The stipulation for the prize is that the book has to be, I mean, when you present the book to the committee, that book has to be printed in the mother country. So, Dr. Zhivago has to be printed in Russian in Russia. Only then the Nobel Committee will consider it. The books were in print in England, America and elsewhere, but Russia had burned all copies. So, but America wanted, obviously, and Russia had also incarcerated Boris Pasternak. So, because that book actually highlighted the plight of the common man because of the revolution. How it turned one man, Dr. Zhivago's life topsy-turvy. So